How not to open up emotionally too early. Hello, my name is Chengi, and you, my precious one, are my world. I've got a wonderful surprise for you today, ladies. I'm very, 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 very excited to introduce you to my dear, lovely, handsome young friend, Kit, who's got a channel here on YouTube, actually. And we've been hanging out for digitally and meeting up and having fun. He's like my the younger brother I never had. We're like kin spirits. I totally adore him. Don't fall in love with him is taken. Okay, but what you can do is follow him on his channel and on his Instagram, and I'm going to leave all the bits in the description link below. So I did leave an ask in my status on Instagram, asking all you pretty and beautiful angels to tell me what you would like to ask Kit. So I have 3 questions for him, and we're going to ask him those questions, and hopefully he's going to be very kind to answer us. Now, the first one that we wanted to talk about, because it's quite common and I get a lot of this, Kit. So welcome, Kit.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on CHENGI'S World. I've been watching you for about, just over, I think I discovered you about a year ago now. So I can't believe I'm actually on here now. So excited.
You're very privileged, Kit, because I actually really never really do collaborations, and you're my first.
I know. I am very privileged.
Oh my God. You have broken the womb. So you know my girls are going to love you because they're going to know that I only ever bring people on here that are going to give value. And because I totally love my girls, and they know that you're going to bring it. So I'm so excited to, and I think it's been great for the girls to hear from a male perspective. So, Kit, your first question, should you choose to answer it, is how to not open up emotionally early. This is from Akira. Greetings from Akira.
Akira, is that how you say your name?
Yes.
Akira. Cool. I think, personally, I think it's really good to think about when you do open up emotions, you know, if you feel you do open up emotions to a guy early, why are you doing it? As in, what place does it come from? Does it come from a place of, I want to just get all my feelings out on the table? Does it come from, you know, if I show him this side really quickly, you know, it'll be easier for him to fall in love with me. And I think because I'm guessing the stereotype is when a girl does, you know, open up really early, which can be hard, but when you do that, if a guy's not in that place where he's ready to do that and, you know, kind of handle the full extent of your emotions, it can scare him off. So I think what's a really good way to know how to, or rather when to open up, is gauging how he is with you in terms of from an emotional standpoint. Because when you meet someone, obviously you're attracted to each other. So the kind of first initial thing that you take from each other is the physical aspect, you know. But when you start to develop more of a friendship as you are dating this person, you know, when you meet someone who becomes a good friend of yours, you don't let all your emotions and your scars out straight out the gate, because you don't know if you can trust that person yet. So with a guy, it's exactly the same. You should treat it as a friendship, and especially if you're going to develop a relationship with him, then there's going to be a friendship there, because that's what a relationship is. Yeah. So as you develop the friendship with him, then you start to open up. And I think it's really good when he starts to open up with certain things with you. Those are amazing cues for what you can then share with him. That makes sense.
Brilliant. I really like what you said about the place from which you're coming from. And I think a lot of women come from a place of hoping that if they open up, that they can get him to open up, and that they can drive the relationship emotionally on their terms. And a lot of women don't realize that really it's the man that leads the emotional pace of the relationship, and just understanding that and answering those questions, why are you driving, will definitely help. So I think that's completely brilliant. So wonderful, and thank you, Kit. Now to our next question. Now, I actually did a bit of a video on this one, and it was to do with, are men intimidated by more successful women or women who have more stuff. And that was actually, for those of you who saw that video, that was actually the conversation I was having with Kit. So here he is. Okay, so I did mention that I was talking to a friend about it, and I mentioned, his perspective. But he can actually give you his perspective firsthand, because I know some of you chicks were like, oh yes, they are intimidated. Yes, I've had somebody dump me. So these girls are not believing what I was saying. So Kit, in your words, what would you like to share?
So I think we are asking the wrong question. We ask the question, are men intimidated by successful women? And we often answer yes, right? Or we don't believe, or if someone says no. And I think when someone says yes or says no, we are conflating a different answer to what we actually mean. What we need to ask is, why are men intimidated by successful women? And it has nothing to do with her success.
Right.
And I think it's hard, because in the question you're implying that the reason or the factor in what makes a guy intimidated or not is the success of the successful woman, and it's not.
Right.
People, especially women, but people who are very successful, let's take the top 10-15%, right? To be very successful in whatever field, if we take an example like the corporate world, right? And my mom's one of these women. You have to be very dominant. You have to be very assertive. You have to be very alpha, right? You have to be very aggressive, because no one is going to just say, hey, yeah, take the top position. No one's going to let you do that. Whether you're a man or a woman, if you're one of those people, that's just what it takes. All these traits, all these qualities that you have to nurture in order to get to that level, these are known stereotypically as very masculine qualities: being very alpha, being very dominant, being very aggressive. And it's, so women who are very successful are more than likely going to have these qualities about them. And it's not that you should get, it's not saying that you shouldn't have these qualities about you, otherwise you can never get a man. Yeah. But it's that you're so used to nurturing those qualities in your day-to-day life for your job.
Right.
And you may be naturally more inclined to show that side of you because you're used to doing that day in and day out.
Yeah.
Whereas you shouldn't feel that you have to show that to a guy in your romantic life. So what I mean is, for example, and I want to clarify the intimidation here. When a guy meets a woman, and if she is very alpha, very dominant, he's intimidated by that energy. So the example I like to give is, if you have this really, let's say I have this young, teenage scrawny guy, and he goes to the gym for the first time. And then he goes to the changing rooms, and in walks in this 6'6", maybe hench, Anthony Joshua style black guy or whatever. He's very broad, he's very big, he's very dominant, he's very alpha, right? That is very intimidating to the average guy, right? And that is the same when a man meets a woman where she's exhibiting those in her romantic life, where she's very dominant, very alpha. And that's going to be intimidating to the average person. Doesn't necessarily have the average woman, the average guy, to the average person. And that's why guys are intimidated. It has nothing to do with how much money you have in your bank account, how many houses you own, how many cars you drive. It has nothing to do with the benefits of being successful, but it's more of the qualities that enable you to be successful, because that's what it takes. So when I've had a few girls who, I'm very fortunate in my career and stuff, and I've worked with a lot of successful people in my field, in theatre and industry and stuff, who are go-getters. They go out, and especially it's very competitive in the acting industry and the theatre world. So, and they've asked me, so if I'm naturally inclined that way, how am I supposed to turn that off for a guy just for him to be attracted to me? And I don't like the term about turning it off. I like to use more of a phrase of showing a different side to yourself.
Yeah.
You can be very loving and sensitive and nurturing, because when you have kids, you're not the big bad boss at work, you know, earning your paycheck. You're all about showing your loving side
Mm-hmm.
to your child. So you still can be both those things, but it's about knowing how to show that other side of you. And that does come with confidence to showing the other side, because you know the boss lady in you, you've done that so much, you are confident in showing that side. You know you can be confident in that realm of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas being very sensitive and being very, allowing yourself to be vulnerable and allowing him to take the lead in things, right, is okay. That doesn't make you any less of a strong woman. That doesn't make you any less of a woman. That doesn't make you any less of a feminist, you know, a strong feminist. Allowing a guy to do that, allowing a guy to lead in certain things, and allowing yourself to connect with that other side of you, that is going to really make a guy feel comfortable with you. And that's what it's all about, right? When we're intimidated, we're not comfortable, right? So yeah, I say it's about very, very much about reconnecting with another side to you that maybe you're not used to showing all the time in your day-to-day life.
Absolutely. Love it. I was actually going to ask you, so what do the girls do about this? Yeah, I think it's such a big misconception, Kit. And I'm so grateful you are able to say that, because you're young and you're male and you're masculine and you're like, listen, girls, we're not afraid of your success. We're just like freaking out over your alpha masculine kind of ways that don't really work very well in relationships. So I'm really excited. Thank you so much for sharing that. I hope that I'm sure the girls will say something back. You know, these girls are,
Yeah.
they have a lot to say in CHENGI'S world. They speak their mind. So
Yeah.
look out for the comments. Okay, girls, so you can keep asking Kit. He'll be in the comments too. Next question that I have for you, and last question. Now, I'm going to have to paraphrase this question, but I'm hoping that those of us who are watching this at this particular time in our lives will understand exactly what I am speaking about. But the question that has been sent to me for your attention, Kit, is well, this what's her name? Mona Jade NYC.
Okay. Hey, Mona in New York.
Mm-hmm. She wants to know, she says, hey Kit, nobody knows the answers yet, but as we're going to have to take it day by day, but it's going to be a long, slow process to date again post Bing world.
Yep.
Would be interesting to discuss the implications of this once we're gradually out of Ping.
Out of Ping.
Out of particular situation we're all going through. Yeah. Thoughts?
I think there's something happening right now in the nations of the world.
Yeah.
And there is a shift in mentality.
Yeah.
What the Ping has kind of made everybody do, we're hearing people, you know, reconnecting with extended family members that they've not talked to for ages, or, you know, really investing in their friends. This time right now is really showing us what we value. And as human beings, we're social creatures. We value connections with other people. And the stuff about seeing someone's perfect lifestyle, you see on Instagram, someone's got the amazing lifestyle, somebody's got the amazing house, or you're comparing your career to that career. Right now, that is literally obsolete. That literally doesn't matter, could not matter less right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is going to be the mentality of going forward. Obviously, the first thing, after this is all over, everybody's going to be out all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Which is great. So I think more people are going to be more eager to connect in real life than kind of online, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Two, we are seeing that how much we value the real connections that we have every day.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing I would definitely take going forward is text less and meet more. Now, if you can't meet more because you're very busy, then speak on the phone.
Yeah.
Texting is one way of communicating with someone, and you only see what they've read. But we know when you interact with somebody, we know that something like 60-70% of what we get from them is body language.
Yeah.
Even on the phone, you hear what they say, you hear the tone in the voice, you hear how they say it. That's so much better than just texting every day.
Yeah.
I say this with my girlfriend. I say I hate texting. Like, if we're going to talk, let's have a chat.
Yeah.
And I think that we should always set the precedent for when we're dating someone. That should be the precedent going forward. It's not that, okay, yeah, we text, then we call. It's kind of, we're both adults. We want to have a chat. Let's have a chat. I'm not saying you can never text, but I think if you're going to text, maybe it could be something like, oh, I saw this. It reminded me of your cheeky face. Or, are we still on for Saturday? I've just booked the table, whatever it is. So I think moving forward, and the great thing is, because we're all going through the same thing, I understand that you might think, oh, well, if I want to call a guy or, leave a voice note, that might seem a bit much. But it won't, because we're all going through the same thing.
Yeah.
And we all understand that actually that's what we find more valuable, more effective than just sending, hey, how was your day?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I tell you what, Kit, you're gonna have to come back on this channel, because we need to discuss this thing about men who want to text, and all my girls are like, you know what, Chengi, I am done with men wanting to text. I really want to have a call. I really want to speak to my man. And it seems you're the rare breed male that would rather speak and chat, but that's because you're probably emotionally intelligent.
Thank you very much.
And, of course,
I would definitely say, right, that it's not that. I know that it can be a thing of seeing that maybe a lot of men don't want to call because it might seem too much.
Yeah.
But if a man is invested in a woman, he will want to talk to her on the phone. If he's not, then it might just be a text, because he's not investing as much as he can or should be. So by you going, hey, I want to have a chat, it's kind of saying, are you investing in me this much, or are you investing in me this much? But yeah, I think that's what I'd say initially to that.
Well, Kit, listen, you've answered that question beautifully. The mic drop things, I'm like, there you go, girls. I keep telling you. Right? It's about that investment. That is so brilliant. Thank you so much for coming to CHENGI'S World. I'm going to have you back. We're just going to have you back, because I've got a feeling the girls are going to just totally love you. But if you want more of Kit's videos, you know where to go. Tell us how we can get in touch with you, Kit. Give us your handles.
Sure. So if you want to pose me a question on Instagram, it's kit_is_me. Or if you want to find me on YouTube, it is Stay Slick with Kit. So find me on there, and I've got details on there. It's mainly Instagram and Twitter and stuff. So it's all on there. So yeah.
Excellent. So you guys know where to go. Let me in on the conversation. Remember, he's taken, so none of this sliding into his DMs things. And if that relationship doesn't work, you'll have to go through me, because you know what I said earlier. Okie dokie. So wishing you, my angels, thank you so much for coming, Kit. Love you to bits and pieces, of course.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you so much for watching, my angels. You know you are loved, and I will see you soon. Make sure you leave a comment for Kit or myself. Let us know if you need anything else, if you'd like us to do another video, what suggestions, the best title will get the video. So just leave it in the description link below, and I will see you soon in my next video. In the meantime, take care of you. Love you lots. Mwah. Give him a kiss, Kit.
Mwah. Have fun.